Hi, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome so much. We're so excited to have you here. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again today. I'm really excited to be here. I'm actually making it for the second week in a row. This is awesome. My full-time job has kind of slowed down a little bit, which is a huge relief for me, and Thanksgiving's coming right around the corner. I'm really looking forward to having a couple of extra days off. So yeah, if you're joining me here before Thanksgiving, I won't see you again until after Thanksgiving, in America anyway. So I hope you have a really happy Thanksgiving. But if you're interested, we do talk about true crime things here, and I'm going to add in some paranormal aspects or some conspiracy theories and those kinds of things. I'm going to add a second video into the week. So if that's something that you're interested in and you feel like you want to, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button down below along with the little bell icon so you can be notified when I upload, but only if you want to, no pressure. I am going to give a little bit of a warning. The things that we do discuss here today is going to be a true crime story, and these stories can be kind of heavy sometimes. So if that's something that your mental health cannot handle, just go ahead and click off this video, because your mental health is always going to be more important than a YouTube video. So just a little warning that things do get kind of heavy in this one, and this in particular will get a little graphic towards the end. So if that's not something you're comfortable with, just go ahead and click off and I'll catch you somewhere else. But that's enough of my intro. Let's go ahead and dive into today's story. So today we're going to be talking about Jelani Day. This is Jelani Day. He was 25 years old. He was bright, he was smart, and he was just everything that's good in the world. Listening to his family talk about him was very bittersweet, just knowing the story. It's so sad and tragic, but just listening to his family talk about him, he was so loved, and he had so many good things to offer into this world. Jelani was definitely the type of person that would have changed so many people's lives for the better. He was extremely close to his family, especially his mother, Carmen Day. They would talk every single day, and just give each other updates about their lives. And even if there was no updates to give, they would still talk every single day. They were just a very close, tight-knit family. Jelani had 4 other siblings, and he was very close to all of them, and that's what makes what happened all the more tragic. Jelani was very intelligent. He had graduated from Alabama A&M with a degree in speech pathology. It was Jelani's goal to become a doctor. He wanted to be known as Dr. Jelani Day. So after graduating from Alabama A&M, he decided to go to Illinois State University and pursue his master's degree in speech pathology. As you can see, Jelani was also very athletic. He was very in shape. He used to be a part of the swim team in his school, and this is going to be very important to remember later on down the line. So as previously said, Jelani was going to school at Illinois State University. August 23rd of 2021 was a pretty typical day. Jelani had talked to his mother. They, same routine. He had gone to all his classes, done everything that he would normally do. It was on August 24th of 2021 where things get kind of weird. Jelani's last known whereabouts are kind of a mystery, and we're going to go through the whole timeline today. On August 24th of 2021, Jelani was seen on the campus security footage at the ISU's Bone Student Center in Normal, Illinois. In this footage, Jelani is seen wearing a button-down blue shirt, black pants, a black belt, and black shoes. He looks very well dressed, and he's walking through the student center. He grabs some Starbucks, and then he's seen leaving the student center, and this is around 7:20 in the morning. Jelani had spoken to a professor the day before. They had decided to meet they were going to have some type of meeting, and they hadn't set a specific time for this meeting to happen, but the professor was waiting for Jelani to show up, and he never showed up that morning. He never came to her room to have this meeting, and yeah, he just didn't show up. So she figured that he would have Jelani did have a class with her that afternoon at 1 p.m., and so she figured that she would talk to him after the class. Jelani never showed up for this meeting, and he never showed up for anything else. This teacher was really nervous about this from the get-go, because Jelani was not the type of person to just not show up. She had tried texting him and he didn't answer. Usually he would have sent a text message saying, "I'm running late," or called her saying, "I'm running late," or that "I'm busy, I can't make it." but she didn't get anything. So she called campus security saying that Jelani is gone. Campus police did look into it, and they were kind of getting suspicious and looking into things. On August 25th, they got Jelani's family involved. Jelani's family started kind of questioning. Jelani had not called his mother on the 24th, which was strange, but Jelani's mother was getting ready for a trip, so she figured that he had just left her alone so she could get ready for this trip. But when Carmen found out that Jelani had not spoken to any of their family, that's when things got really concerning for them. They knew that Jelani was not the kind of person to just not reach out at all. It was on August 25th that they reported Jelani missing with the police. Police were able to find some security footage of August 24th, the day that Jelani disappeared, and that's when they found the security footage of him walking through the student center, grabbing the Starbucks, and walking out really well dressed. They did find some more security footage from a local dispensary in Bloomington, Illinois. At 9:12 a.m., Jelani is seen on security footage at this dispensary called Beyond Hello, and he parks his car and walks into the dispensary. At this point, he's wearing completely different clothes. He's wearing a blue baseball cap with the Detroit Lions on it. He is wearing a graphic t-shirt that is black. It's a Jimi Hendrix Band shirt, and some shorts that are white or silver, and black shoes with white soles. He had parked his car, which was a Chrysler 300, and he walks into the dispensary. And when he walks into the dispensary, he looks directly into the camera, as you can see here. There is some talk about the security footage of Jelani looking directly into the camera. Many people think that he is trying to make a point of looking into the camera, that way he will be seen and recognized. There are some people who think or who say that dispensaries make you look directly into the camera in case something goes wrong. I will say I have been into a couple of dispensaries, and I've never been asked to look directly into the camera when entering these places, so I'm not sure. It could be different locations have different things. I have been in multiple different dispensaries. I've never been asked to look into the camera before, so I do find it a little bit strange that Jelani looks directly into the camera like this. These are the last 2 times that Jelani was seen, and I know I've said this over and over, but I just want to make it so clear that Jelani was not the type of person to just disappear. He would always let his family know what was going on, and like I said, he and his mother talked every single day. They always knew what was going on in each other's lives, and it was not like Jelani to just not talk to his family, especially not his mother. He was so very close to his mother. It was the day after Jelani was reported missing on August 26th that Jelani's car was found about an hour away in Peru, Illinois. And it was at the intersection of 12th Street and West Clocks Avenue, which was just north of the YMCA. The clothes that Jelani is seen wearing in the security footage at the dispensary are now found in Jelani's car. The tags to his car have also been removed, and they are not with the vehicle, and the keys are not with Jelani's vehicle either, and Jelani's not there either. This is when a search did happen. Police used canine and drones to search the area around the car, and nothing was found. Jelani was not found anywhere. Jelani's family and friends and the school, they all became involved in the search. The school did make an announcement saying that if anyone knew something, they should say something, and Jelani's parents were looking for him everywhere. Jelani's family was looking for him everywhere, putting up posters, but it didn't really seem like many tips were coming in, and nobody knew where Jelani was. Then on September 2nd, someone came in and handed in Jelani's wallet. They said that they found it in the LaSalle, however you say that, LaSalle, Illinois. They found it in that area. They said that this person that brought in Jelani's wallet said that they were following this man, and he was holding this wallet and he had dropped it, and they picked it up and they realized that it was Jelani's wallet, and they brought it into the police. Then on September 4th, an announcement was made. Police said that they had found an unidentified body in the Illinois River, just east of the 251 bridge on the South Bank. Police would not release any information about this body. They wouldn't release if it was male or female. They wouldn't release, they didn't say anything about this body. All they would say is that the body had suffered severe decomposition, and that was that. But on the 6th of September, the investigators did ask Jelani's family for DNA so that they could compare this body's DNA to Jelani's family's DNA to see if it was a match. But the family wouldn't hear anything for almost 3 weeks. Nobody heard anything about this body, and the medical examiner had come out and said that it could take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to figure out who this was. And it did take 3 weeks to make a comparison with DNA. It was on September 23rd that they were able to say that, yes, this is Jelani Day. The medical examiner said that he used dental records and also DNA from the family to compare to Jelani to make the or to identify Jelani's body. This is when police would hold the only press conference in relation to Jelani's case at all. They did announce that they had found Jelani's body and that, that it was in fact Jelani's body that was in the Illinois River. They had done a search of the surrounding area where Jelani's body had been found, but a couple of weeks later, there were two girls that were walking down the riverbank around the area where Jelani's body had been found, and they found some clothes on the riverbank. These clothes were found about a mile away from where Jelani's body was found. And why wouldn't they have gone further than a mile? Because these clothes were obviously there for a while, or were they not there? Were they placed there later? I'm not sure, but I feel like these clothes should have been found when Jelani's body was found. I feel like if they had done a really good search of the area, the clothes should have been found, but the fact that they weren't found almost makes me think, like, were they placed there later or what happened there? But either way, these clothes were tested, and they did find DNA on the clothes that did not belong to Jelani or to anyone in Jelani's family. That very same day, police in Peru, Illinois released security footage released surveillance footage. And in this video footage, it's a surveillance video of a black man approaching a residence. They asked about just information about this man, and that was kind of it. But this raised a lot of speculation in the community. The Post also did say that it was in relation to an open case that they were investigating, and so a lot of people were wondering if this was related to Jelani's case. But by September 29th, they had said that the person in the surveillance footage was no longer a person of interest, and they had ruled them out as a suspect completely on whatever case this was. But this did lead to a lot of speculation in Jelani's case. Jelani's toxicology report was also released. They found small amounts of caffeine, nicotine, and marijuana in Jelani's system. All of these substances are legal. Obviously, there's dispensaries in Illinois, and it didn't really lead to much of anything else. We saw Jelani walk into the dispensary, so it's not a shock, it's not a shock that there was marijuana in his system. But police also made an announcement that they were going through hours worth of surveillance footage and that they just weren't finding much of anything, that they weren't finding any leads in Jelani's case. Jelani's family is just not getting any answers at this point either. It seems, from what I read, it seemed like they were just getting a lot of pushback when it came to asking questions in Jelani's case. The medical examiner had been pretty rude to Jelani's mother, from what I read. It was just weird altogether. This whole situation was really strange when it comes to Jelani's family and how they were treated during this whole investigation process. So Jelani's family requested a second autopsy done. This is where things get really strange, and I want to make it clear that if I am not understanding this right, I really would like someone to explain it down below. But from what I understand, the second autopsy revealed that there were multiple of Jelani's organs missing. According to some of these sources, Jelani was missing his brain, his liver, his spleen, and his eyes, and it looked like his jawbone had been sawed out. But what's even weirder is that this isn't the first case that I've looked into where it seems like body parts go missing after someone is murdered. And I think Jelani was murdered, just so we're clear. But the first medical examiner, the medical examiner that performed the first autopsy, came out and said that the missing organs had been liquefied, that they weren't missing, but they had been liquefied during the decomposition process, which I don't know how decomposition works. I'm not a medical examiner. I'm not trained in these things, but it does seem strange to me that only specific organs liquefied while the others didn't, but I could be understanding that wrong too. I also read a post where Jelani's mother came out and said that this was not a case of organ harvesting, that Jelani didn't have missing organs, but that they had in fact liquefied. But then there are some statements made by their lawyers that said that Jelani was missing organs. So I'm not sure which is which. But I did want to mention it here because it is something that is openly found on the internet when researching Jelani's case. So whether he or not he was missing organs, I'm not entirely sure, but I do find the situation very strange. But it seemed like not a whole lot was happening when it came to Jelani's case. There weren't many leads. There wasn't much action going on when it comes to Jelani's case until 6 weeks after Jelani was found. There was a man driving on I-55 North in Bloomington when he stopped to the side of the road. He had a mattress on the back of his pickup and he stopped to secure it. By chance, he would happen to look down and see a phone that was shattered on the side of the road. This phone happened to be Jelani's phone. The phone was sent to the FBI in Chicago, and they were able to find out that the phone was turned off on 9/21 on August 24th, the day that Jelani was last seen. And this was also pretty quickly after he was seen on security footage at the dispensary. So it seems like as soon as Jelani left the dispensary or as soon as he pulled up to the dispensary, his cell phone was turned off. Harmon was also very interested in reading the last text messages on the phone, seeing the last phone calls, who Jelani last spoke to, thinking that maybe this could lead to something, as I think anyone would, that maybe they could see who he last talked to, and maybe that could, give them some clues into what happened to Jelani. The FBI said that they only had technology to get into up to iPhone 11, and Jelani had an iPhone 12 Pro Max. So the FBI was not able to get access into his last known contacts and his last known text messages and stuff like that. So there wasn't really much. The cell phone, once again, was kind of a dead end. Jelani's death was ruled a drowning, and I'm not sure if it was accidental or if police are still looking into it. I can't really and maybe I just didn't look hard enough, which very well could be. As soon as I get off, I'll go search again. It'll be right there. That is still actively being investigated, but it doesn't look like there's any movement in the case at all. But Jelani's death was ruled a drowning, but investigators say they don't know what put Jelani in the river. The thing is Jelani's mother is right. This is really a strange case. People don't just disappear like this. Jelani was driven and wanted to be a doctor, and he was excited to become a doctor, and he was working really hard to get there. He was close to his family. He had so many things to live for. It's very strange that he's just disappeared like that. Like, something happened to Jelani. There has to be answers somewhere. And I think that's the most frustrating thing, is that we can't, there's no answers. It's just, yes, he died, but why was he in the river in the first place? And his mother also says that he was a strong swimmer, and it's obvious he was on the swim team. He was a strong swimmer. So the whole thing just stinks to high heavens to me. Another thing that's really awful about this case is it was going on right around the Gabby Petito case. And I'm not trying to say that Gabby Petito doesn't deserve, the coverage that she gets, but Jelani doesn't get near as much coverage as he deserves. There is still something not right here. There is something that just doesn't sit right with me at all. And Jelani deserves justice. His family deserves to know what happened. They deserve to have the answers that they're looking for. And they're still actively out there trying to find out what happened to Jelani. And I think Jelani deserves much more coverage than he gets. I know there's just not a whole lot to this case. I just find it really strange that he goes from being so driven and working so hard to become a doctor to just gone. Vanishes what seems to be into thin air. And his family, they're working so hard to find justice for Jelani, and they deserve to know what happened. But yeah, that's the case of Jelani Day. I feel like I'm missing so much in this case, but there's just really not a whole lot out there. There's not a whole lot of answers. There's not a whole lot of anything out there when it comes to Jelani's case. Something stinks really bad in this case. Something stinks to high heavens. But his family is still out there, they're still out there fighting for justice for Jelani because something happened to him. Something, there has to be answers somewhere out there for somebody. And if you never know who's going to see it, it might be the right person to see it to help this family get the answers that they deserve and Jelani to get the justice he deserves. But that's pretty much all I have for this. I will say that Jelani's family did start a foundation in his name. They help families of color during difficult times when a family member goes missing. They will offer financial support, emotional support, or help these families get in contact with the right people. Jelani's family has also hired lawyers and private investigators to kind of help them see figure out what happened to Jelani, and that's the support that they're offering to other families that are going through this. I think it's a wonderful foundation. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. And please do go check it out. Go look into the Jelani Day Foundation. Jelani's family is just absolutely beautiful and wonderful, and they love Jelani so, so much. And they deserve justice and they deserve answers. So please go check that down below. Check that out down below. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. And if you have anything to add to this case, please go ahead and plug it down below. I'm all about like adding more information so people can read through that. It would be wonderful. But other than that, that's all I have. So I hope this finds you well, and I'm sending you so much love.